down on you.
Yes, it is definitely higher. It's represented here at the 2013 Universiade. 20 golds picked up by the Russian team. Yeah.
Here's a total of 6 medals held by South Africa, because of course they picked up another gold medal today thanks to Anaso Jabawana.
Well, a slightly slower pace than Jabawana moves at. He moves swiftly over both 100 and 200. We now go to the second heat of the 5,000 meters. And according to the start list, it will be 16 athletes to contest this second heat.
Evgeny RYBAKOV is back, the man who was unable to break Stephen Makoka's rather cheeky, well, not pace-making, pace-daring, really, wasn't it?
Indeed. During the 10,000 meters.
Well, our Russian colleagues are now going to get both the javelin champions on air, it seems. Maria Abakamova, Dmitry Tarabin. But whilst Russian TV gets rather preoccupied by the javelin, we are going to be preoccupied by the men's 5,000. There is Evgeny RYBAKOV. Got a medal, but it wasn't the medal he wanted in the 10,000 metres.
Well, we are going across one by one as the stadium announcers introduce this field of 16. Rather unusual in my experience for a field of 16 in a heat of the 5,000 metres to be introduced individually. And of course, they are actually introduced twice in the stadium, once in Russian, once in English, which means that the process takes even longer.
Yeah, even on the Diamond League, you don't get this. You get 2 or 3 that come forward, are introduced, and then off they go. But the World University Games is all about social niceties, about...
So can Evgeny RYBAKOV get through to the final of the 5,000 metres, having competed, as we said, in the 10,000. The RYBAKOV twins saw the South African, in our view, playing mind games with them throughout the 10,000 metres. Some of the press did have a different view of that, and it's Mohamadou ADAMOU who leads in the very early stages.
There's a Ugandan in this as well. Benjamin Jir, who finished 11th in that last heat, has come up to just in front of us so that he can watch his compatriot Allan MAKWETA, see if he can get through and do any better than he did. Unfortunately, 11th is not going to be good enough to even get through as the fastest loser because it's too far down.
And this, to me, looks like a slower opening than the first heat, which I find surprising, given...
Mind you, that may be because of the fact that Ugandan hasn't run off into the distance rather early on, because that's what happened in the first race. But there is Evgeny RYBAKOV. He's adopting more or less the same pattern that he did when he was running the 10,000 metres. There were no heats for the 10,000 metres. It was a straight final. We won't enjoy having a South African around him, though, that's for sure. Andries HLASELO.
So it is the Mexican who leads.
Yes, the brother of the other ESPARZA PEREZ that we saw in the first heat. We've got a lot of brothers running in this World University Games.
Jesus Arturo ESPARZA PEREZ. Tall figure in the green vest at the front of the field. And I think we can now safely say that they are racing.
Yeah, the pace has now gone out faster. Well, 5,000 metres really Well, distance has been turned on its head in the last couple of years. 2 years ago, Mo Farah had his heart broken in the 10,000 metres by Ibrahim Jailan, who had the most astonishing last 250 metres I think I've seen in a long time. He then got injured, missed out on the Olympics, and of course the Ethiopians came in fourth with Kenenisa Bekele, who was not really in the type of form that he's been in recent years. The last couple of years have been a little bit wayward for the world record holder and twice Olympic champion. Bekele never really got into it, and Mo Farah ran away on one of the most amazing nights of athletics you're ever likely to see. The noise inside the Olympic Stadium was at a level that they must have been able to hear from space.
The Norwegian student, Johannes Alnes, up there in about 6th place. Remember, it is the first 5 who qualify as of right, but there are 5 further places available to the next 5 fastest, but it is still the tall Mexican who leads down the back straight.
It's almost a show that there are no Americans here. Galen Rupp, who followed in his training partner, part of the Alberto Salazar stable out there at Eugene. Really have got a good training group together, and all bouncing off each other. Galen Rupp couldn't quite reproduce it in the 5,000 metres the way he did in the 10, where he took the silver medal behind Mo Farah, but Mo Farah certainly did, and there's a new generation of Ethiopians coming through at 5,000 metres that couldn't quite catch up with him on that occasion. And I have to say, until the Ethiopian Federation change the way they pick their teams, I think that they are going to struggle at major championships, because you don't get a Kenenisa Bekele come along or a Haile Gebrselassie come along every year. And if you push your athletes hard, then at the championships they're going to be jaded, as we saw in the not just in the maybe the 5,000 metres, but particularly in the marathon last year, where none of the 3 Ethiopian representatives actually managed to even finish the race. They were so tired. On the plus side, though, they did take the marathon gold medal for the women. So it did work out on that, but it was a strange race. I remember commentating that race and not understanding the fact that there were no Ethiopians coming in at the finish. And there's only one Ethiopian here in this meeting, and he's not going to make it through to the final, I don't think. He was a long way back in the first heat.
Paul CHELIMO up there in the first 5.
ESPARZA, though, still looking pretty strong, and so too is Evgeny RYBAKOV behind him, but we'll see just how tired he is. He only did the 10,000 metres the other day, and CHELIMO's decided to go for it. He did that as well in the 10.
He did.
And then he went backwards rather fast towards the end.
Richard Ringer up there, now moving. He's followed CHELIMO through, the German student. He was 5th in Gateshead, member of the German team at the European Team Championship, the elite division, the Premier division, since they insist then on having divisions 1, 2 and 3. Why we can't have division 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm not quite sure, because that's what they are. But Ringer ranked in the European top 10, so it's no surprise to see him up there. 13:43.07 last season.
Andries HLASELO also clinging on at the back there to what is the 5th qualifying place automatically, but there are 3 men still trying to get back in contact with them just behind.
Well, the Mexican is dropping back quite rapidly, as is the Norwegian.
That was Norwegian, he just dropped out. That's the end of the line, I'm afraid, for Johannes Alnes. At least he doesn't have to be carried off.
No.
Like one of the men in the first heat.
The Republic of South Africa student, Andries Porcelo, is in that leading group of now 5. He is at the back of the group, but that really doesn't matter, because there are 5 automatic qualifying spots, and providing he stays there, and he's looking quite comfortable, he will go through to the final. 2,400 to go.